Hi, I'm Jack Antonoff. Welcome to my studio, in my house, my home studio. This whole area is kind of my favorite place to be. But my goal with this room, which I feel happy with, is to make a space where I can get all the sounds I want to hear, but not have it be overblown with like too fancy or too perfect or anything like that. I can really exist alone in here and do everything I need to do and make every sound that I hear in my head. Tons of songs that are all over the radio and things were just recorded sitting here and I'm sitting there. All the Taylor stuff, she just sat here and sang, and the whole Lorde record we just wrote here and she'd sing it here. And my whole album, I just sat in this room and made it. So you know how it is, like sometimes you go to a restaurant and something was done to perfection, it doesn't taste as good as when your friend made it. I like things that sound connected to a time period, and then I like to take that sound that's very much of a time and then super modernize it. This is a Lynn drum. It's actually signed by Roger Lynn. I don't think it cost me any more money, but that's just a nice detail. So then, this is an old tape machine. I run things through it, so like there. And then it becomes this thing, which I think is at the center of a lot of what I do, specifically in Bleachers, where there's a piece that's nostalgic and there's a piece that's the future. This is my favorite thing. So like that's all over like that Lorde song, Green Light. You have this just sitting behind it. You know, I don't want to make junky recordings that sound like I did when I was 13, but I in no way want to lose that sense of where it's coming from. This space is all about that. And I didn't want it to be too perfect and be this like perfectly sterile thing. You know, like the windows, sound bounces off them, that's not good. Those should be covered in a perfect world, but once again, it's like a good vocal take with a siren in the background is way more interesting than like a pristine vocal take that doesn't have as much heart. This is like a big don't take the money thing also, and a big Bleachers thing is kind of this, it's kind of buried in there, but it's going. I like to write sad and then think about ways that it could sound bigger afterwards. Don't take the money, I was like, somebody broke me once, love was a currency, shimmering. It's like that sadder chord. I ended up changing it to the more triumphant one. This I use for all my string arrangement stuff. But you know, like finding ways where, like, you know, a lot of times I'll have like an old string sound on here and then get some like big Robin thing going here. Yeah, this sound is like really this sound of my soul. I put this behind everything. It's just so beautiful and so sad. This is just a nice place for me to sit and think, and I'm surrounded by all the shit that means a lot to me. It's nice to be confronted with things that are from your whole life because they carry weight. You know, that Polaroid of my sister, that clock, these 7 inches I put out ages ago, this boxcar I made when I was 9 or whatever, that picture of Robin that my friend Lindsay framed for me. They're more than just memories because they are like sort of these like incessant reminders of who you are, and that you don't get if you go to, or I don't get, if I go to like a studio. It's easier to lose yourself, but if you're surrounded very literally by all these reminders of yourself, then you might write something and you'd be like, oh, is that like the most perfect version of who I am? And you can look around and be like, they think so. Sad and sounds like a party at the same time, which is my ultimate goal, is that people are like dancing and crying like roller coasters, like. And that's what I like. I like when songs sound like people were dreaming of them being grand and big, not literally that, you know. And I think when you make it in a small room with small things, some of that dream quality comes out. You know, I want them to like remember that sound, and that's really this room.